Okay, so welcome back. I'm assuming that you've already looked at the video on needles. This was meant to be all one video, but my dog came in, so this is going to be the needle about threads. So, like a lot of good beaders, I keep my beads in like a, or just, old school beaders, I guess. I keep my threads and beads and projects in a lot of cookie tins. I don't know, they're just comforting to me for some reason. They're really hard to break and they seal quite well. So here you have this sort of cornucopia of thread. Now the thread that you're going to be given to you in your beading packages, if you are a CCHS student and you signed up for the bead soup package, and the thread that we use in our classroom, it's NYMO size D thread. I don't know if you can read that. I'll see if I can kind of like focus in a little more. And it's white, right? It's a size D thread. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wind a bunch of bobbins and send them out to you guys, so everybody has their own bobbin. But I wanted to show you some of the thread that you can just buy, because maybe you are really getting into beading and not sure about buying thread. So I just want to go through. First of all, you don't want to use this thread. So this thread is thread for actually sewing moccasins. It is a nylon thread, and by the way, you always want to use a nylon thread for beading. You'll see older stuff that's made with cotton thread. That's because they didn't have anything else to use, but cotton breaks down over time, and when it gets wet, it can degrade. So really you want to be using like a nylon thread, but not the one that says BB69, okay? That's from local store Robertson's. If you were buying, then that's another 6.9. And yet you might want to get, and that's another 6.9. So obviously I have a lot of the actual leather thread, but if you were buying, and there's another leather thread, and this is what you don't want to buy either. This is like a cotton linen thread. There we go. So this is the beading thread. It's thinner than the other thread, and it's not, when you look at the beading thread, the number on it is different, so I'll try to focus. So this actually says CBB 33. Alright, so that would be the other kind, so if you want to buy yourself a big spool of this. And obviously, the goal, one of the main goals in beading is to kind of like avoid seeing your threads. So people will buy different colors based on the fabric that you're beading on. So if I was beading on like moose hide, which I like to do, and I wish I could afford to get moose hide for all of you, I would probably choose maybe this one or even a lighter one, like something in this range. I ordered this online, so this is NYMO and it's size D thread. So I'll just focus in on that and see if maybe it'll show you the right there. Yeah. So it's size D thread, but you can use size G as well. I've ordered that before, and you can buy these little spools of the nylon thread at Robertson's for like, I think that was $3 maybe. And they do have a few different colors. I think they had black and white and kind of a tan color for going on hide. So those are kind of like your beading threads that you would use. And then if you want to order for yourself, I'm not sure if you can get this in town. There's two different kinds. They look like fishing wire, fishing line. Wildfire, which is not quite as good as the Fireline brand, I find, but it does come in black. This is a really strong, really strong thread that is used, and especially with the Fireline thread, you'll notice it'll say 6 pounds, and it's got a fish on it. Like, this is basically fishing line. Mostly your uses for this is when you're beading beads onto other beads, right? So when you make like earrings and stuff, or when you're doing something really funky like this. So this is a project that I started playing around with the idea of Celtic cross, and this is done using a technique called brick stitch. And there's lots of different techniques that I'm going to link to this channel that are really well done, and I don't need to redo them. So you can check the playlist if you want to look at that. So when you are beading stuff like this, where it's not applied to any hide, there's nothing holding it. So you really need a really, really strong thread. And that's why you'll see a lot of online beaders will spend the big bucks to get the Fireline thread. I have seen people do things with actual like fishing thread. I've never tried it myself. And you notice it says 6 pounds of pressure on here. So that means that you can make those dangly earrings and you can get really big beads on, and it's just super secure. The only drawback to using this stuff with materials and things is that sometimes if your materials are more delicate, like felt, and you pull really hard, it can actually like cut into the material, but it takes a lot of tension and it's nice to have. So what you're going to be using though for this project is just plain old white size D thread. If you want something different, you can go buy some for yourself, but that's it. That's basically what I know about thread, which isn't a whole lot, to be honest, but it does work. So that's thread for you.